Hello, right, welcome back. We are on with a, I should say actually, happy 2025 even. I haven't done any recording this year at all. This is my first recording, and what you've seen this year is just some stuff I had left over from last year. So we're going to change a few things. Have changed here as well. We'll get into that as we go along. But yeah, without boring you too much, we are on with a Transporter T4, another one, believe it or not. This one, dare I say it, is actually quite good, which is rare on these things. Cross members, although it's got a little bit of surface on there, it's nothing major. Very, very clean. We've got the usual bits in here, which we're going to have to make anyway. But while it's up in the air, I just thought we'd have a quick nosy underneath. One for me, one for the customer, because I know he was looking. Yeah, this customer actually found me on YouTube, and it's a way of him keeping up to date with it as well, isn't it? So within reason, obviously. We're not, these are filmed and then put out a few weeks later kind of thing, but you know what I mean. So you can see there's a little bit up there. I don't know if you can see that properly. The light's right, it's either in the way. I did find a little bit over here, which we are going to have to deal with. It's right usual spot, so we are going to have to deal with that. That'll we'll just cut that whole piece out and just make a new piece for that and put the grommet back in, clean it all out. Hopefully it hasn't got any more. I don't want to go poking around just yet in case it needs to come back off the ramp, but we might need to make an inner piece as well, but we'll have a look at that. Everything else looks pretty good underneath wise. Weirdly as well, for people that do T4s, you'll know what I mean. These front bumper stays actually undid without snapping off. Both sides as well, which is very, very good. Right, so I've got the van there now. As with most of these, they do generate their own little ecosystem in there. To be honest, we're going to need another one anyway, it's ruined. That's the sealer. It's alright there for now. So we're going to have new wings anyway, like we always do. We're going to have the drip rail, the hose that comes up there and routes down, or through here, whichever way we decide to do it, depending on how long the hose is. I can't remember now. The last one we did through here, and then I've seen somebody else route it around this side because they obviously had a longer hose. So depending on which one we have, the last kit I had was pre-cut. It was only long enough to come straight down here and straight out the bottom. But that's the same both sides. A little bit of rot down here. Again, nothing major at all. It really is, for a T4 anyway, it is very good. Apart from this panel. Now I don't know if there's a way, I'll have to get a ruler. I don't know if there's a way of showing you. That is a good 30mm. At least, possibly more. So basically what happened is there's a little crack along here, and a little crack along here. Ignore this because it's coming out. But what we were going to do is try and pop out as much as we can. Now there's access to the back. There wasn't originally because it was a freezer van, which is why they've done this. I mean, there's no attempt at pulling it or anything. They've just filled it completely up, which is incredibly thick. But as with all that sort of stuff, it starts to shrink over time and crack, and then we've just started to go rusty, and then the moisture's trapped. I don't know if you can see properly on there. The moisture started to creep underneath inside the crack and then rotting this section out. Now, I can't find, unless somebody tells me otherwise, I can't find this panel. All I can find is a sliding door panel, which will come near enough full length, but will come up short, sort of here-ish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit that full panel in, and then leave the original piece here, all the way down the side here. We'll overlap or joggle that edge just to make it strong, and then weld it up. Again, we'll join it along here. I think a lot of people have seen it on the other videos because I've had no end of comments on it, but how I join these, I basically join it inside. So you have like an inch gap there, or 20mm-ish. I join it about halfway down, and then the only area, providing you don't warp it, the only area you've really got to sort of bodywork is this line. So, and for me, it seems to make it stronger. It's a bit more forgiving. If the panel's not 100%, you can make it up in here. Because we've had some of these panels and they're a bit, you know, they're not deep enough, or they're too deep, and we can trim and suit and make a sensible job of it. So obviously, initially, we were just going to tidy up a few little dents, and then obviously we found that, and obviously that's ripped that panel off. Then that panel's no good for nobody. So again, we could get in the back of it, we can hit all that out, we can make a new support for the back, but in doing so, the front panel will be incredibly stretched, and you'll spend hours and hours trying to shrink it back down, make a decent job of it, and it's still ain't going to end up with a big skim of gobbo in it, which is, I try and avoid that if I can. I don't like using it. So some people might be happy with that, but that's not me. That's not how I work. I don't like it. If we can get metal in it or lead, I would rather get metal or lead in it. Same as this panel. So again, we're good inside, or seems to be good inside. Both sides, apart from this bit that I showed you when it was up in the air, but we'll just make some new ones of these. I should make a bit of tooling for my fly press, really. The amount of these we do actually end up making, I should make a piece, make some tooling for it. So yeah, this will have a new quarter up to in here again. Currently waiting for panels. You can see under here, but you see it's been painted before anyway, and then over painted, which will kind of make sense as we go along, because there's an awful lot of lack appeal on this van due to it being, it looks like it's had a full repaint in base and clear, as opposed to the original. That'll probably be the original gloss underneath, and then they've just painted over the sticker, which is again lovely. Tailgate is actually really good. Couple of little small repairs, nothing major, just cleaned all this up. There's a little repair to do on the back of the door anyway. We're a bit dark around here. I'll put the lights on. So again, we're missing this piece again. Not, it's completely missing there. Again, they just rot out. Same again with this panel, so we're going to have a new one of them, reseal it all. Sliding door's actually pretty good. Customer pointed out a few dents, we found a couple more, we've just dealt with them quickly. Now the door itself, obviously this side's fine. I haven't put the lights on, I should have put the lights on really. So you have to bear in mind I've got this LED light, and then it's still solid, although it's got a bit of surface on it, it's still very much solid. And then all we'll do is clean all that off, epoxy it. If you check out the other T4 videos I've done, you'll see what I mean. Same as this arch, we'll cut this outer arch off again, so we can clean it all up, make it good. This is difficult to sell. It looks like a massive repair. It isn't really. Well, it isn't. The door had a big dent in it. Let me just put that light somewhere nice so you can see it properly. Right, there we go. So the door had a big repair in it here, and a big dent, sorry. So we've pulled all that out, but to then sort of iron it out and take your eye off it, it's had a bit of a light skim. You can see it's It's quite transparent, so it's more to tidy as opposed to fill up a great big hole, if you like. Same as up here, same as there, and that is basically a dolphin glaze, which is a really fine, almost like a self-leveling compound, if you like. And that's just had a light skim just to iron that out. You probably could have got a good portion of that with primer, but then you're relying on a primer, and you're pushing its boundaries at that point. So again, no good. Let me show you the front very quickly. So yeah, we're going to follow what we're doing with this. There's lots of waffle for you. The front end's extremely good. Again, unusual. The bolts actually look like they would undo, which is great for us because the stuff is actually undoing, which makes a change. So yeah, we're waiting on panels, and then we'll get back on that one. Yeah, so this is like a little video stuff we found, if you like, again for the customer. But if you're interested in these videos, give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And if you want to see anything in particular, let me know, and we can make sure we include that. We will include the welding and the panels and stuff like that anyway, and the paint like we normally do, but it's I'm going to try and do stuff a bit differently, so it should hopefully make for a better video. So you have to bear with me on that. If it doesn't, I apologise, but I'm working on it. I've got a different tripod, and I've got somebody to give me an hand here and there with the camera, so we should be able to get some better shots, if you like, and footage for you, and less of me waffling, hopefully. So Inner wheel arches for it. Basically going to tub it if you like. So we're going to carry I will double it's supposed to feel.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
seem to find a side panel for this one. But what I have managed to do is find a sliding door panel, which is the same profile, but it's obviously not quite as long. So what I'm going to do is, rather than have all this rot and crap and all that horrible brown rot underneath all the filler work, which is completely pointless, we're going to cut all that out and basically put a join somewhere down here. We will joggle the edge, I will explain that for people that don't know, but we'll joggle the edge and make the edge really nice and strong. Again, we'll join it the same way, so we're going to join it along here. Now with this one, because it's a sliding door, it doesn't have a sill, but the sill is so good, I'm just going to cut inside here for now, and we'll probably end up joining it between this edge and inside here somewhere. But I'm just going to cut straight in there for now, just to get rid of the panel, and then cut it basically a tiny bit short for what we need. So we'll get it all out again, all dressed out, same as the other side. This side's a bit worse in some respects, but not as bad as others. So yeah, let's get chopping.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Right, just cleaned all that up as you can see. Still a bit more to do. I've just put some zinc paint on it for now, just to keep it clean while, and then when I come back later, we'll scrub that and get some treatment on it, because it's not rotten. It just wanted a really good clean up. For people that don't know, that's a MBX tool. There's a wire brush on it. That pretty much gets rid of everything that's there. Yeah, I'll move on to the other side now. While the camera's been off, I thought I'd do a bit more grinding. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Beautiful. So that might be a video all by itself, that one piece. I'll have to get the wheel off. I was just cleaning it up. I knew there was an hole there. Customer did mention there's an hole there. I don't know if he knows it was that big or not, but we'll show him that when he turns up at some point. Right, well, I'll go to the other side now.